Jake Paul admitted to holding back during his fight with Mike Tyson, saying he deliberately pulled punches to avoid knocking Tyson out and to give the fans a show. This has raised concerns about the integrity of the match, as professional boxing requires fighters to fully engage. Such actions could lead to legal trouble, as they might violate expectations for a competitive and authentic fight. Jake Paul's admission after his fight with Mike Tyson raised eyebrows because professional boxing requires both fighters to give their all, and pulling punches can impact the fairness and authenticity of the match. He mentioned sparing Tyson due to his age and out of respect, which could lead to claims that the fight wasn't conducted with full intent to win. Legal experts have pointed out that this undermines expectations for spectators and regulatory standards, possibly causing regulatory scrutiny or legal consequences. Jake Paul admitted to pulling punches during his fight with Mike Tyson to avoid knocking him out, which he said was out of respect for Tyson and to make the fight more entertaining. This has raised questions about whether he compromised the fight's integrity, as professional boxing requires fighters to compete fully. Such actions could violate regulations or fan expectations, leading to potential legal or regulatory consequences. Jake Paul was suspended immediately after his fight with Mike Tyson due to standard boxing regulations. In Texas, fighters are automatically suspended for a recovery period based on the length of their bout. Since the match lasted 8 rounds, Paul received a mandatory 24-day suspension to ensure proper rest and recovery, which is common practice in professional boxing. It's possible Jake Paul could face trouble, but it depends on how seriously regulators take his admission. By saying he pulled punches, Paul might have violated rules requiring fighters to engage fully, which could lead to fines or disciplinary actions if authorities decide to investigate. However, it might also be seen as a minor issue, since the fight didn't result in major complaints from fans or Tyson. The outcome will likely depend on how closely regulators scrutinize the case. Fighters often try to extend matches for entertainment value, but they usually keep that strategy private. By openly admitting he pulled punches to make the fight last longer, Jake Paul exposed himself to potential scrutiny. It's one thing to play to the crowd, but acknowledging it publicly might invite regulators or critics to question the fight's legitimacy. His honesty, while unusual, could indeed backfire. Jake Paul reportedly earned around $40 million from his fight with Mike Tyson, making it one of the most lucrative matches of his career. This payout came from a combination of the fight purse, pay-per-view revenue, and sponsorship deals. Mike Tyson, on the other hand, earned approximately $20 million for his participation. With a $40 million payout, Jake Paul is in a position to handle fines or suspensions without it impacting his finances significantly. His earnings from this fight alone, not counting sponsorships or other ventures, provide him with a huge cushion. While a suspension might affect his schedule, it likely won't hurt his bottom line much. Jake Paul has shown ambition and a clear desire to establish himself as a legitimate boxer, and his fight with Mike Tyson certainly boosts his confidence. Beating Tyson, even though he's far past his prime, would give Paul the belief that he can compete with top-tier athletes. However, whether he'll go pro in a traditional sense depends on his long-term goals. Paul has consistently marketed himself as both a boxer and an entertainer, and while he's proven he can hang with established fighters, his future as a professional boxer could hinge on him pursuing more competitive matches and proving himself against rising stars or current champions. But it's also worth considering that Paul's focus might remain on drawing big paydays rather than following the conventional path of professional boxing. He may prefer to remain in the celebrity boxing space, where he can attract large audiences and continue capitalizing on his fame. That so far, there hasn't been any formal reaction from the Boxing Commission or regulators regarding Jake Paul's admission of pulling punches. If they don't act, it could mean that the incident may not be taken seriously enough to warrant penalties. It's also possible that regulatory bodies might give him a pass, given the nature of the fight, and the fact that there were no immediate complaints from the opponent or fans. However, that doesn't mean future fights will be free from scrutiny. If Paul's tactics or admissions gain more attention, or if a more high-profile situation arises, regulators could reconsider their stance. But for now, it seems he's not facing any major consequences. In non-professional or exhibition matches, there's often more leniency, as these are typically seen as more for entertainment rather than strictly competitive purposes. As a result, the regulatory bodies may not feel the need to intervene as they might in a traditional professional fight. If it were a fully professional contest, the situation would likely have attracted more attention from the commission, but the fight's context may be working in Paul's favor for now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and leave a comment below. See you next time.